Today I'd like to talk about materializing data with the data build tool, known as DBT. This video depends upon the prior video, which was talking about how to use DBT to seed tables. We're going to be using the library schema. It has books, loans, and members. This is the OLTP version of the schema. We're going to make an OLAP version for analytic processing. Agenda. Things that you can materialize are tables, views, incremental tables, ephemeral tables. Ephemeral tables are placeholders. Materialized views. Platforms such as Snowflake support them. The SQL Server adapter does not support them. And last but not least, we're going to talk about snapshots, which are slowly changing dimensions type 2. Let's get into the demo. But the profiles basically tells you the server name, the database, the schema, the username, and the password. The project file. The project file tells you how everything's put together. So we know this is the library project. We're going to use the profile to connect the following defined paths. For instance, the model path. We're going to go over seeds today and snapshots. The seed section basically says take that base root data and append raw to it. Okay. Anything that we define in seeds will be raw data underscore raw dot table name. Snapshots. Similar, but it's going to be data underscore snapshot. And we can also tell it whether or not it's a column store index. Okay. And we don't want a column store index. Models. Okay. Well, in the model section, we're going to say anything in stage is a view and anything in mart is a table. And yes, we're going to accept column store indexing. Okay. So the very first step is to connect DBT, right? Debug. After this runs, we're going to talk about snapshots. So right now it loaded these 4 tables. Again, it's going to take data, pen raw, and it's going to use the name of the file. So it's book001 is a table, okay? If we go into the snapshot directory, we can see there's a members 03 SQL syntax here, and it says this is a snapshot for members. It's based upon select star from member 0, which we created from the seeding, do by date or check. And if we do a check, we need a unique key, which is member ID. And we're going to say anything in these columns change, then guess what? We want to change it and make end date the current record and create a new one. Okay. So let's do a snapshot. DBT snapshot, right? And take a look. There wasn't anything in our database. We hit refresh. We have the 4 tables that we have: books, dates, loans, and members, and now we have a new table. The slowly changing dimension table. We can see there's new artifacts or columns added to it. Let's make a change. Let's say it's not expired. The person came back today. Okay, so we just updated it. This is not going to change the data right now because we haven't run the process. If we run the snapshot again, it's going to end date the current record and add a new record. That's how snapshots work. So if we take another look at the final value, we can see that the expired was end dated today. Okay, and we started a new date and it's active. Okay, models, and in models we can have subdirectories. Okay, and in the subdirectory stage, which again, this goes back to our DBT project stage, it's going to be anything in here as a view unless we override it. We can override it at the file level. So this one we said, hey, guess what? Materialize a table as books, dates. We want to create an incremental table. Now that's a special table. Dates 3 is that ephemeral table. Basically, we're doing a select statement and saying, here's some sample data. I haven't had a chance to build out this table yet, but I want you to take a look at it. Members table. The members table is going to be a view. So we're trying all the different types I went over. And the last but not least is the row counts. And we know this is a materialized view and they're not supported. So this is going to error out. Okay. But again, it's a great example. Now there's 2 ways to do it. We can run a single one, DBT, right? And then run and do dash select and then a particular file. We're just going to run everything. So we do S and then we're going to do stage. If we take a refresh of the tables, we can see that now we have snapshot, we have books, dates. Date 03 didn't show up because it's not materialized. Ephemeral tables only can be used in the next layer of the model. Thank you for attending the short video. Please see my upcoming articles on SQL Server Central for more information.